This is PrepTest 157, Section 4, Passage number 3. This one is about how scientists decide what counts as a separate species of bird. Two camps disagree, a big-name researcher stirs things up, and then even he admits the whole thing's kind of a mess. This is a fairly low-difficulty passage. Now, this is a science passage, but there is no argument to track here. Nobody wins. The author is showing you a debate that has no clear answer. And that's what makes it tricky. Students want to pick a side, but the passage won't let them. Now, paragraph 1 is all set up. You've got two groups. Lumpers use the biological species concept, and their test is simple. If two populations don't interbreed in the wild, they're separate species. Splitters use the phylogenetic species concept, and their test is different. If a population shares a genetic feature you can trace, it's its own species. Lumpers end up with fewer species. Splitters end up with more. You've got to keep those two definitions straight because the questions are going to test whether you can tell them apart. But you don't want to get stuck memorizing details here. Just know the split. Read this at a pretty steady pace. It's dense, but this is all ground level basic stuff. Then paragraph 2 introduces Sibley. He is a splitter. He compared DNA across bird families and decided a bunch of earlier classifications were wrong. American vultures are closer to storks than to European vultures. Loons and grebes aren't actually related the way people thought. Now, here's the thing about this paragraph. It looks important because Sibley sounds important. But all it's really doing is showing you that his method produced surprising results. The specific bird examples don't matter for the questions. They're just proof that Sibley's work was disruptive. So you want to move through this fast. Your job is to know what Sibley did, not which birds he reclassified. Now, paragraph 3 is the one that matters the most. You want to slow way down here. A critic fires a shot at Sibley's method. The DNA data only gives you a rough sense of how different two populations are. And the way you read that data is a judgment call. So the criticism is that the method sounds scientific, but the conclusions you draw from it are still subjective. That alone would be worth noticing. But then the passage does something students almost always miss. Sibley partly agrees. He says evolution creates all kinds of genetic differences, and we're just choosing which ones get a name. He calls the species concept slippery. So the central figure in this passage, the guy whose work drives the whole debate, is backing off his own position. Not completely, but enough that you can't call him a confident defender of the splitter view. If you read paragraph 3 as just critics versus Sibley, you missed half of it. The real move here is Sibley's concession. Then paragraph 4 is just one sentence. It says the species debate has political and economic stakes. More species means more candidates for protection. So skim it. It's a so what closer, not a new argument. The key move here is Sibley's partial agreement with his own critic in paragraph 3. The hardest questions on this passage will test whether you understood that he doesn't fully defend even himself. Now, the author is neutral, not pro-lumper, not pro-splitter, not pro-Sibley. The author is laying out a debate and showing you it's unresolved. The biggest trap here is thinking the passage favors Sibley because he gets the most airtime. The author is laying out a debate and showing you it's unresolved. He gets that space because he's the most interesting character in the story. That is not the same as thinking the author's agreeing with him. If you walk in thinking this is a pro-Sibley passage, you're going to get the main point question wrong. You probably get author's attitude questions wrong also. And any question about paragraph 3's function will punish you for reading it as a simple back and forth. Now, before you go to the questions, check yourself on 3 things. First, what does Sibley get 2 paragraphs for when the lumpers only get half of 1? Second, what exactly does Sibley admit at the end of paragraph 3, and why does that matter? And third, what is the point of that last paragraph about politics? Is it a new argument, or is it just showing you why the debate matters beyond science?